Okay, let's move to our next presentation by Vijay Babu, who is the CIO with ABB India. To give you a background, he has more than 15 years of experience in IT industry with a wide global exposure across India, Middle East, Africa, currently as the CIO for IT in ABB, South Africa cluster with 12 countries. Can we welcome Vijay with big round of applause, please?
Oh, thank you. So currently I'm the CIO for ABB India. So let me say here, first preparing for digital transformation. I think this topic is more about jargons, and I have seen like there will be a lot of things that we will be seeing here. And I think this is a famous slide that is always been visible across. Just to say, okay, this is how the evolution has come, this is how the age has come. But when we look at our IT transformation and other things, first from a paper-based to paper and system, from system to automation, from automation to digitization, digitization to digitalization. We as CIOs, all the IT people, we have been through these journeys. But one thing that always comes in common, like during the coffee things, like everybody will speak of, okay, now digitalization, now it's more about the digital process and this one. But there is always a discussions that will be going across to say, we are already doing automation. We have been in this journey for many years. Like prior to this, before SAPs were being highly marketed as an application or something. So when SAP is there, what is the first thing that we were saying? No, you have been doing like this, we will automate, we will make it more better. But now, as we see across, we have been doing this. What is the new terminology called digitalization or digital process? What is that you are trying to say about this? So the basic fundamental difference between automation and the digitalization, it's not digitization or digitalization. So automation is something that you look at a process within and you see you have a cost efficiency and you will have a performance efficiency coming across. But when you see at a digitalization, it is not just automation, it is more about how we change the way you operate. This is the fundamental thing that is different. And that is where the role of the CIO is also changing. Previously, the process is already there, just we automate 3-4 steps and we are good, like we said to be good. But now, it's the way how we operate and what value we bring to the customer. I think these two are the key differentiators, and the current trend that is going on is the speed at which you do it. I think these are the three important things that drives whether we are really doing digital transformation or not, and what makes the company invest on it. Like our colleague asked, we have been investing so much on SAP and other things. Now, why should I invest on this? And again, what is the time limit that we have to invest? So the first thing in a board discussion that we have to do really is, do you want to be like a status quo? Like just to say here, like if we can say that the statement, okay, I have invested so much now on my SAP platform or my other platform, Salesforce and all these things, but why can't we be stable? Why don't we run the stable operations? So running operations stable does not mean that we use the same technology. We have to keep changing. If we don't change, we will be redundant in the market. So that is something which is very important for us to convince the management, and I think COVID has already taught the top management and also to everybody to say, I cannot stay the same way how I am operating. And this is the biggest change that COVID has done positively for the industry too. While it is negative from a humanity side, but from an industry side, it changed the way that they think. So if you see here, first, why do we want to transform? As I always said that we change to operate, and then what value and the speed. Now we have been seeing there is an investment that is happening at Karnataka event. But the first thing in the advertisement that it shows, either you disrupt or get disrupted. So that's why means, this is what we mean to say why. Either you disrupt or you get disrupted. You cannot be running a status quo. Second, why? So today, the market is, I want groceries in 10 minutes. And I want this. So it's more about the speed, as I said again. The speed. So the why is very, very important to ensure the stakeholders do understand it. They do understand, But when a context like this, like if you say a retail setup, the market forces you to go there. But when you see a setup, I am from a manufacturing setup and an electrical setup where our base is an industrial customer base. It's not a retail customer base. So the force is different. But understanding why we have to do is something which is very important for them to ensure that the business has to sustain for long. And how far we can sustain this change with the current infrastructure or something that we have to look. So next, where and what is something that I would like to just focus on. Where and what, like let us see. So one basic things that we will be asked, like now you are coming into the building, tell me what digital transformation, like what exactly you're doing. So basically if you just, so we give a basic examples here to say now you just go to a restroom, now you have a sanitizer coming in. So it's fine, it's very good, so it's a touchless, so you can get to a sensor and that's fine. So it's already automated. So then what is the difference between this? So when we said what is that we are bringing in? So there should be a kind of a dashboard or a war room that can be created wherein the entire building, what's happening, should be available there. So we have a tool called building management system that is built by our company where we can, the entire view, including the force rating, including the light lux level, is something that we would be able to look at the entire process, and the person sitting at one place will be able to monitor, including restroom, coming to the boardroom that is happening. All the events and whatever is happening in the building with respect to AC, with respect to cameras, with respect to boardroom occupancy, everything is being looked. So this is the first stage. Like where and what means, there is no limitation that the digitalization means only we speak big things that we generate so much revenue, we generate so much thing. Where will start at every stage where we are saying that there is a need to improve, automate, and also we have to monitor and bring value. So here the value that what we are bringing in is to have a single solution across for a building, and you can monitor all the buildings of your company by sitting in one place with everything. So that's a small start for a good digitalization. Second, and when it comes to digital transformation, now when we say about, now when we speak the way we connect, now we are getting big technologies, now we are getting SD-WAN technology, it definitely changes the way how we do it. Now when it comes to hosting, now always there is a statement, cloud first, cloud first, cloud first. At least we ourselves said, cloud is not first, but cloud is one of the options. So it's always like to weigh both the cost, benefits, and then what is that you really want. There are set of things that we say. So when we say there is an application which is a customer intense application, then better let us do it in the cloud, because what is the need of the whole is the scalability and the speed at which we do. And second, the technology is changing very fast. So what do we do during those courses? So there we use this, there is a service-based renting out that is being happening. So we have PaaS, SaaS, we have multiple ways of for utilizing the cloud services. So we use that. Now then take a step back. Now what is more inside and what makes you to have on-prem? So this is not customer facing, this is not having this. So then let's have in-house on-prem thing. So everywhere digitalization will bring value, but at the same time the decision of proper technology that has to be used for the purpose of digitalization has to be considered and looked into. And we cannot go in the market, like there is always, like there will be two extremes of management we can see. Why can't we go to cloud first? But at the same time, the same management question backs to us, what is the cost of it? Why cost is increasing? So this, I think we as CIOs, we have that challenge always to balance out and take the right decision. And wherever there's a fast changing technology that is there, use lease-based methodology or PaaS-based methodology, whatever way that is required in order to ensure that we are with the technology and we have the flexibility to change. I think this is something that we have done. And let me go to little bit up, like once we cover the basic things, now we are going to the infrastructure. But if you go to the main core, at least for manufacturing industries, our core is more of an application, like the core ERP applications that we always run. So there is a big discussion that went across what do we do with these SAPs? So previously we have consolidated all countries, now we made India as a hub, now we are the hub for 98 countries, we host the environments for all these countries sitting in India. So we did a big consolidation exercise and then we built a gigantic SAP system. So now the question is, what is digital transformation in this? So the basic thing, what is digital transformation that we have already done, we have already automated. So it's more like a brick and a mortar. Digital transformation is like a brick, automation is like a mortar. So both will go hand in hand. Automations do exist, still exist, but in a subset of the digitalization. So what we are doing now, from a case study perspective, if we say, we have looked at various countries or various systems that we have. So now our approach and methodology is not to do away with all the investment that is done. Then I don't think that is going to really lead us. So basically that is the underlying foundation that exists, but we need to be as quick and as fast as how we are doing. We are more into M&A. We acquire and we sell. We acquire and we sell. So this M&A business is high. So how quick I can integrate and how quick I can push it back. So our approach with respect to these basic applications, our approach is to bring in a core, a lean core system. So we are in the process of building a lean global system, and wherein we will have the entire data around it. So we will have the data streams, data model that is getting built for the country and for the company as a whole and for global as a whole. And we are building a lean core ERP system that is required. And once we have these two built up, this is easy said but very difficult to be done, but do we still have technologies to do this? So data is something which is always, it's a complaining area. Always, how much ever you do, it is a complaining element. So we want to bring the data into one shape, so we understand what is our company data. So till now, this is never understood. It is always said that we know, but it is never understood. So now getting the entire core data of it in one place and getting the core nucleus of lean core application into one place, and then we build systems on it. Like now we have SAP CRM implemented. Now Salesforce is there. Should we implement Salesforce? Yes, why not? Just because we made an investment here does not mean we cannot do. Now we build a Salesforce platform which is much better and efficient. Now we build a HR platform around this. Now we build a finance platform around this. So what we are doing, we have a data and then we are building the lean systems which are currently today very good in the market, which are delivering value to the customer and which are delivering value to the business. So this we are doing, and then once we do this entire step, the base country level functions, how they operate, will still continue to do. But the interface of the customer will change, the interface of the management will change, and the way the people operate here will operate one place. So this is something, I think this is a big thing that we are trying to do here in terms of a manufacturing setup. But this is from a pure IT side, so which was more internal focus to us. But when it comes to external focus, what is that we can do much better? Like let's say where, as I said, where is more internal and external both. When it comes to external, the biggest thing that was always a fancy word that has been used is install base. So my install base is good, I am good. But when you're going deep into the install base, the data will never be correct, neither they will have the proper details, neither are we getting a repeat orders on the install base or not, is always a questionable matter. So now what is that we can do differently here in this with the adoption of the technology? So a sample use case that I can say, previously we were selling motors. So now also we are selling, previously also we are selling. What difference it makes? So now we sell motor with a device in it. So what happens when I sell a motor, the customer is using this industrial motor, he has a device with it. So now I offer a service. Previously I'm just offering a product. Now I'm offering a product and I'm offering a service of it. So this motor will be properly monitored through this device, and this will keep sending the data analytics of how the motor is functioning, what are the analytics around this. So this is a service that we can build in, and now what is happening? My install base is 100% correct because I'm daily interacting in some form or fashion. And second important thing, value to the customer. Value to the customer, he need not worry about which is failing, which has potential to fail, what is there. There is already an device that is going to monitor it and it is going to give. So there is a more predictive maintenance that can be triggered. So that is also there. So customer is happy, we all also happy because there is a business that is given and our product is used in the best way. And third, much more important, is the repeat order. As the end of life of this comes up, we have lots of sales targets that can be, means sales approaches that is there. They have this, oh, this is what is the customer and this is what is there and this is the approaches, then we can go there. And fourth thing, what is helping us in this journey is when we sell the product again to the next customer, we know these are all the things that the product will offer, these are all the potential challenges and how you overcome. So the customer who buys, he has the confidence in the product, the confidence on the product has improved. So basically, if you see, that's what the journey is, like retail industry, you will be always pushed because you cannot stay still, you will be pushed. When it comes to the industrial base, it is you have to make an effort to ensure that this is happening and you have to enlighten your customers. Because the customers are all, okay, I'm running as it is, what matters for me. But the more you show this value proposition to them and the speed at which the downtimes are better managed or reduction of downtimes, this is something that is very, very important and the customers are ready to buy. So this is also something that we did in terms of the ability platforms that we have done. So this also helps both by us as a provider of product and service and also the customer. Another use case that I can say here in terms of this, like normally all this, now we see all payment portals, we are all clicking, it's making much easy, we can make the payments. But when it comes to industry, a B2B, I think there is no such kind of a vigor or the thing that is available. So B2B always operates, I send a PO, I send an invoice has to be booked, then the payment has to be made, and then it runs with a cycle. So we will always of an impression that, okay, these industrial customers will operate in this because they have the systems, they have to make this. But we did, even prior to COVID, we just rolled out a payment platform which can project all the customer payables and then customers can do. And always this collection and overdue collection is a pain. Like you have to call, you have to do. And when even the customer is willing to pay, the process was hindering them to pay. And we rolled out one platform in such a way that all these industrial customers are given the same interface where they can buy the product, and also they can also make the payment. And believe, in no time, we have an increased surge in terms of online payments being received through this portal. So now digital rupee is coming. Now there is a demand coming. There is a digital rupee coming. Why can't we integrate this? So that's the change that we have brought in at the business level, and also they are happy because they are seeing the collection growth in this. So nowhere, so our objective is, first you should present the technology, make them use it, and automatically there will be a buy-in coming in on this. I think this is something that we have seen a lot of transformations, and the transformations we concentrate both internal and external together. And then we, as I said, we don't go by just to say cloud first or this first or that first. So we look at the technology, we will take a decision and then present. And how do we want to transform? I think these are the things that we have to do. The first thing on how do that we can say is the setting the objective, stakeholders and people. So I think these two are this, but something people is very important. See, we have all the stakeholders and the people whom we are managing. The first thing that we have to instill, I am doing digital transformation, means I am not always successful. There is an element of failure, and first, when an investment is being made, the management should be made aware, or the stakeholders should be made aware, that be prepared for a failure, embrace the change, not only with success, but also with failure. You cannot say I need only successful, because it's a technology by itself, it's being used, and this one, it's like small solution, like an MTR solution that we use in a meeting room. Now it's very famously marketed, just you forward a meeting invite, and then without laptop, it is a 5-minute startup time, 5-second startup time for your meeting to be ready. That's very good, it's a technology, it is being implemented, very good, we are digitalizing the room, and we can remote monitor. But it will fail, and out of 100 instances, 95 instances, it will pass, 5 instances, it will fail. So you should embrace the 5% failure, then only a new technology can be implemented. In case you are not in a position to embrace the failure, no, then we are not prepared for the digital transformation. Digital transformation comes with the benefits and also with the failures. So this is what I would say, the first disperception has to be built in, or else we as CIOs will always have a challenge to only show success, and we will lose the support when we are in a deep problem. So I think this setting up of the perspective is very, very important for a successful CIO implementing a digital transformation. Thank you. So I don't think I want to just cover here. So this is just a food for thought. Thank you.
Okay, what? Yes.
Vijay, really liked your presentation. It was very evident that you actually worked and you have knowledge about the challenges which are at the ground level. You have mentioned change management, right? We know in IT industry what all frameworks we use for change management, right? What frameworks you have used with respect to digital transformation in the industry sector? ABB being a core engineering company, right?
Yeah.
Can you give some examples from change management, what framework you have used, or any example of change management where you have seen the success rate?
Okay. So basically, what we have done in terms of normally IT is something which is centralized in its operations and how we do. So when we start saying the digitalization is not limited to IT systems or this one, it is more to the business as well. So it covers business, the wing spreads to the business. When the wing spreads to business, what is very important is empowerment of the business. And a centralized IT team delivering the entire, we run the whole sort of products, starting from process automation to more motion and also to electrification and this. Each product is different and unique in its own thing. So the biggest thing that we say, by having a central IT team, are we able to really deliver it? It's impossible. So what the basic thought process is, first we set the guidelines of architecture and we set the guidelines as to within the guardrails and the framework how they have to do. And then there are separate teams based on like a motion industry, electrification industry, based on product segment. We created a teams where they can think, they can work, and they can deliver the product. And when it comes to final vetting, it can go to a different. So this is the first change management or the method in which we said, business, you need the change, you are empowered to present your ideas, and no need to wait to the bureaucratic way of reaching to the central team. Your team is sitting next to you, your R&D is sitting next to you, you can discuss and agree. So first is empowering the people to present their ideas and also to try and implement their ideas. Yeah. We use just ITIL. See, ITIL is a support framework. I will not say that, but when it comes to the development framework, Agile framework is what we always suggest. And all these products in some form or other, while we have the hardware element and we have the software element, we use this Agile model is what we are trying to push. That's all. So we don't try to, as we say, we don't try to develop more and more infusing new thing. New process or this one. Agile is what we just say we have a 3 gate models that we agree. So gate 1, gate 3, gate 5 is something that we have internally defined, and say we have a checklist that we look whether this is done, this is done, this is done. So based on that model we look. But on overall, agile is the one that we always do. We have waterfall model, there are a lot of things would be there, but agile is what we always